Good morning. I'm Mayor Darrell Seymore, and this is with City Sholo COVID-19 update. Today I have our guest Stephanie Ray from the Navajo County workforce team, as well as we have different people from the media. I have Laura Singleton from White Mountain Independent, Rob Hepner from Birdman Media, and Floyd Simmons from KRFM Radio. Thank you for being here today. I just want to start off by thanking our hospital crews and organizations, doctors and nurses, caregivers, and all the frontline people at the grocery stores and the delivery services, our city staff and employees, the utility companies and health officials, many churches, food banks, businesses, police, fire and personnel, and news agencies. So many people have worked tirelessly to make change throughout our community, state, and our country. Most of all, it's our citizens who have come together to make a difference. I want to give you just a brief update of the latest numbers of where we're at as far as the COVID-19 here in the state of Arizona. There's been 33,375 tests. We have 2,575 confirmed cases, and we have 222 in Navajo County, and 44 of those people that have the COVID-19 are off the Navajo Nation that are in Navajo County. And there have been 73 deaths in the state of Arizona. I just want people the next week to realize from today going forth that we're kind of in the height of the peak of the contagious stage. And this is a very serious time for us to follow the order that has been given by our governor to stay at home if at all possible. There is very few reasons that you should be out, and that is only if you're engaging in some type of essential activity that you really need. So we really encourage people here for the next few days to really stay home, and we're going to really encourage you on Friday, and I'll read a little later here in the show that we're going to talk a little bit about just something that we have planned for this Friday, Good Friday. So this time I'm going to take some questions from different people from the media. I just want you to know that I appreciate you, appreciate our citizens, what they're doing. This has been some of an interesting situation. We've never experienced this ever in the history of our country as far as what we've had. Back when we had the Rodeo Chetasky fire, we could see the flames. We could see the effect and how close it was. Back when we had the Wallow fire, that was the same, and we had the Cedar fire. So all of these things that have threatened us at this type of thing has been something that is real and something that we can see. This virus is very real, but is what makes it hard is it's unseen. And I think one of the things that we have tried to control and that has been as bad as anything has been the fear that has come upon people. And I'm hoping that people feel a little better, that we are getting this under control and that we're able to make headway. And as we ease the fear, that also eases the panic and some of the things that have happened in our own community. But I just want you to feel safe, stay home, and be healthy. And anything we can continue to do to help you, we're here for you. So at this time, I'll take some questions from, we'll start with you first, Laura Singleton. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mayor. My question is, do you expect a furlough of any city employees?
At this present time, we don't. We've completed our budget. The budget for next year was delivered to me on Friday. We'll be looking at that as we'll continue to do our budgeting that we have. But right now, we have made the commitment that we have our full budget in place through this year of 2020, which is through June 30th. So up until this current year, we have not looked at that.
Okay, thank you.
Rob?
Morning. So we've been seeing increases of numbers. Are you getting anything back from the state in regards to what we're looking for as far as an end date? Is it still April 30th or?
Well, we have April 30th as a work date, point date that we have. You know, schools have been canceled maybe throughout the end of the year. In some cases, some people have alliterated that. But at the same time, we have a calls almost every other day with the governor. Was on a call yesterday. They have not alluded to an end date or the end of the stay at home, but right now the order is through the 30th. There are some things right now that we're seeing the numbers are starting to slow a little bit just with the tests that we were having. We're seeing increases of cases by 20 and 25%. Yesterday's increase from today was about 9%. And right now we have a 7% rate of anybody that's tested is positive. But I hope that people understand that we are in a more contagious period of that curve in the next few days here. So we have to assume that the virus is out there and the virus is present. And so social distancing and staying at home and all of those things are more important than they've ever been during this time that we've asked people to stay at home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lloyd.
Mayor Seymore, my question is about public facilities out in the community. I know that we've been restricted from using the city park and using some of those other recreational facilities. And what is the directive right now? What do you see in the foreseeable future for people who want to get out, who want to get to the park, who want to recreate, who want to get some physical activity, who want to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we have right now? What's the advice?
Yeah, one of the great things that we have a lot of people who are wanting to come up to this area from the valley, and we're asking those people not to come up. Not so much because they will also add to the numbers that maybe would go to the store. The numbers are there. Yesterday there were several calls in the call to the governor that I myself was one who petitioned the governor's office to be more specific about having people from traveling from one community to another. Okay, so that is something that we are discouraging of traveling from one community to another. But as far as getting out and enjoying the outdoors, that is actually a healthy source. But what you have to be careful is that you don't do it in large numbers. And even family members should try to do everything they can to social distance a little bit from themselves as well when they have this. So right now, the park is closed. We do have still our Frisbee golf portion through the park is open. The trails in the park are open, but we had to close the facilities of the playgrounds just because we could not maintain the sanitation level that needed to be maintained. But as far as it's also, there's many campgrounds that have been closed. Unless you can camp in an RV or something that where you can retain your shower and your bathroom facilities, those areas have been closed. We just weren't able to keep up with all of those things around, and for sanitation reasons, we closed those areas. But there are ramadas that are open. There are still some things where people can still recreate, get out, walk up and down, the streets, but be careful if you come in contact with another person to maintain that social distancing, and try not to spend very much time even talking at a social distance place as much as you can.
What specific concerns, worries, complaints are you hearing from the business community? And what, if any, kind of encouragement do you have to give back to the local business owners in the White Mountains?
I think we have a wonderful community as far as business owners, people that are giving, people that have sacrificed, closed business down. Our biggest thing is they want to go back to work. Everybody wants to go back to work. I have to sometimes scratch my head a little bit that people have pushed the envelope as far as they can to justify themselves as an essential service as opposed to just closing. And there have been people that have adapted and been very creative in adapting their businesses that was a legitimate essential service that they could start doing takeout food, different things for our restaurants. But we still have to be careful until we have the green light, and that green light will come from our governor or from the President of the United States. And when they give us the green light that we're back into full business mode, we just encourage people to hold on. I think Stephanie has some great help that she has available for people where they can get some financial assistance and aid during this time when they are closed. But if at all possible, if you can keep your employees working, that's something that's going to help everybody recover faster.
Last question I have is has any of this impacted dramatically the load on our first responders, on the police department, on ambulance and other services around the community, and how are they able to handle it so far?
I don't know that it's had a great impact other than they have had to be more cautious when they come in contact with somebody. They have to assume that that person could be ill from this virus. As of my knowledge, we do not have a person in some hospital that has the COVID-19. Okay, that was as of yesterday. I had that information. So as far as our first responders, they've been out there. We have had a little bit more vandalism. You know, shame on people who takes this opportunity to go out and vandalize things and spray paint and do the things that they want to do. This is not a time to prey on just because maybe there's fewer people around. And so with that, I think our local responders have done an excellent job, and they were prepared. They've been able to go forward and keep the essential services go. And that was one of our main concerns. What happened if we started getting a case inside the police force or inside the fire department? And that could have, you know, hampered our numbers. But so far, we have been fortunate and blessed not to have that happen. Stephanie, do you want to just share a couple of things that are available possibly for, you know, loans that are out there or different things?
Sure. So the federal government has put in place a couple of different programs. There is the Paycheck Protection Program, which is a brand new program that was implemented due to this disaster. And it will allow a small business to get a loan that can be forgiven by the end of the year for up to $10,000. Yes, for up to $10,000, and that has to be used to pay for payroll. And so the intent with this program, as well as the next one I'll talk about, is that employers keep their employees on the payroll, that they don't lay them off, they don't furlough them, and if they have laid off, that they bring everybody back before June 30th. And so that allows for that cash advance. The Paycheck Protection Program is facilitated through several local lenders. And so there is an online application at sba.gov for that program. But then at the end of that application process, a person will choose their preferred lender, and that will go to their bank. We have found a couple of things since this rolled out last Friday. It is best that they work with a bank that they already have a banking relationship with. There are some banks that will allow you to open an account as part of the process, but in general, it's best if you first try to go to your bank that you have that relationship with already. The second program is something that has been in existence. It's been expanded due to this. It's the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. That also allows for a $10,000 cash advance that, again, can be forgiven. That is a little bit more flexible in what it can be used for. While both of these programs can be used for operating expenses, as I mentioned, the Paycheck Protection Program, they have to spend at least 75% of that loan advance on payroll, where this one allows a little bit more flexibility in then paying operating expenses, lease, mortgage, and that sort of thing. And so both of those are available. There has been a huge flurry of applications, and so there's been a little bit of hiccups. And so we do ask that those small business owners be patient. We are working with a group, our business response team, that includes members of the Small Business Development Center and the SBA. And so we're on phone calls about 3 times a week getting the most up-to-date information. And so we know that it's changing rapidly as they try to implement these new processes and programs and try to figure out the best way to make that happen. But they're great programs. And so the encouragement is keep your employees on payroll, and hopefully these cash advances will be enough to float until we can open back up for full business as usual.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other questions, Laura? Sure.
So this is a little bit of a follow-up to my furlough question with regard to the loss of sales tax revenue that could be experienced. Will that affect, or how will that affect the next year's planning budget, the next fiscal year?
You know, the city of Shoal has always been fiscally conservative. We also have money that we put aside for a situation like this. Until we really know how it starts to track as the city goes into its new year, most of our expenditures that would be large would probably be deferred into at least the next quarter or possibly the mid-year. then we start seeing exactly how things are tracking. So right now, most of our budget will be similar to last year's budget, and then we will continue to see how adjustments that we need to make mid-year. And before we do anything major, we'll be able to see. It does affect our revenues. There's no doubt that sales tax revenues is what generates the city of Shoalo. And so we will have to take a careful look at doing that. But we have been through some tough times before. We have cut 30% out of our budget in years past at times when things were difficult, and we was able to keep things going. So we intend to do the same again if we need to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Appreciate it. At this time, I just want to share from Navajo County, the neighbors, friends, and families of Navajo County. In light of the COVID-19 virus and the impact we're feeling in Navajo County and across the globe, we joined together collectively, Navajo County, the Navajo Nation, White Mountain Apache Tribe, the City of Holbrook, Town of Pinetop Lakeside, City of Shoalo, the Town of Snowflake, Town of Taylor, the City of Winslow, to hold a community day of prayer and fasting. On Friday, April 10th, 2020, we urge all citizens to come together in prayer and fasting to seek the inspiration needed in the coming days. Let us lift our voices in unity for modern-day miracles as we search for solutions for the safety and protection of everyone. May our combined faith bring us clarity and direction as we look to make necessary and important decisions in overcoming the challenges presented by COVID-19. Navajo County is unique in its beauty and diversity and held together by the strength of its people. May we unite our collective faith and sympathy as a community on this day of prayer and fasting. Sincerely, Jason Whiting for the Navajo County Board of Supervisors, Navajo President Jonathan Nez. We had Chairwoman Gwendina Lee Gatewood, Mayor of Holbrook, Merrill Young, Mayor of Pinetop Lakeside, Stephanie Irwin, myself as the Mayor of Shoalo, Mayor of Snowflake, Lynn Johnson, the Mayor of Taylor, David Smith, and the Mayor of Winslow, Thomas McCauley. You know, in the world of no baseball, no basketball, no NASCAR, no school, no concerts, no large gatherings, something's happened. And we look a little bit about what is that? Why is that going on? And I think hopefully it has caused us to focus not so much of the things of the world as of the things that are truly important. And when we think about the things that are truly important, I hope you've had time to spend more time with your family, more time with your loved ones, more time to reach out, and maybe some more time to ponder your own personal life of what am I doing and what can I do different. I applaud those who have reached out to me, those who have offered prayers, those who have offered criticism, those who have offered change, those who have offered suggestions. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate the opportunity that I have to serve. And I ask all citizens in the city of Shoalo to remember Good Friday, to remember this Friday, for it was the day that the Savior Jesus Christ was crucified. And may we turn to Him and to our Heavenly Father for a day of fasting and prayer and ask for peace and healing to come upon our land and upon our community. I witnessed the miracle in 2001 of the Rodeo Chetaskai fire that it did not burn the city of Shoalo. I know again that our Heavenly Father will bless us. May you turn to Him, may we rally together, and we will get through this. We will be stronger, we will be safer, and we'll be a better community. I so give you my blessing in the name that you will be great citizens. I know that you can do it. May we all come together. May God bless you, and may He bless each one of your families. Thank you.